I have been teaching social studies at East Hampton High School for 8 years, and I'm a UConn NEAG grad. With the implementation of the new Common Core State Standards, CCSS, the new SBAC testing, and the new Connecticut teacher evaluation system, I now feel like a juggling circus clown, not a professional teacher. I struggle on a consistent basis to keep a structured and successful classroom where I know the students are growing as future leaders, learning our core history, and improving their writing skills. With or without CCSS, this has always been my professional goal. Our classrooms have been broken into, and the robbers are taking everything away that we teachers value and know works. I support parts of HB 5078. I understand why CCSS was created. I do not oppose rigorous educational standards that are aligned across the states. What I do oppose is the process that was used to create and implement these standards. Teachers are the ground troops of the classroom, and we were not utilized as the anchors and professionals that we are, and this has been the point of contention since the creation of CCSS. We are the professionals, and we do not have a job or a career, but a passion. Yet teachers' voices and critiques have been stifled at every step of the national and state process. Our collective voices have been saying, slow down the implementation of CCSS, fix the testing and technological problems with SBAC, and evaluate us, but in a way that does not take upon hours of collecting data, that it does not prove our merit as professionals and our students as learners. I should not have to spend 2 hours creating a universal screen that's not related to classroom content, 14 hours reading and scoring these essays based off a CCSS rubric, 3 hours putting the data together, an hour with my department analyzing the data, and over an hour meeting with my supervisor about said data for my midterm evaluation, one evaluation. With the time it takes to give the prompts and then create a lesson that helps the students understand what they were missing and why what they were missing matters. We are almost at 24 hours of time, a lot which is my own time, beyond the ringing of a bell. Many politicians who have been quoted in the press are saying that their goal is to make the rollout of CCSS smoother for next year. But in reality, the rollout started at the beginning of this year for East Hampton. This is why teachers and administrators are scrambling without any assistance to comply with the standards overnight versus gradually and effectively. Professional development and the creation of the curriculum that would elevate the CCSS was not created by most schools before September, and new aligned, tested, vetted curriculum cannot be completed in one single year. The chaos of the speedy implementation of CCSS, SBAC, and the evaluation system has not only impacted teachers, but it has impacted our pride and joy, our students. My students are stressed. They might not be able to explain why, but their stress always parallels mine. What once used to be coherent lessons created using backwards design models are now choppy with random data checkpoints such as universal screens and snapshots, which are often not tied to my unit or curriculum. The students know this and get visually and argumentative upset about this. 30 seconds, less than that. I do not support the portion of HB 5078 that takes away the Department of Education's ability to spend appropriated money to assist districts while CCSS is being investigated. Districts still need those funds to upgrade their technology for SBAC, and along with many other services that support stronger student learning and outcomes. I agree with the Superintendent Charles from Middletown. Their district, as well as many others, rely on every single penny our state and federal government can contribute to create the best learning environment for their students. Please amend the bill to remove the appropriation halt. If this bill is passed, even if it's not, please make sure teachers have the majority of voice in any CCSS research and investigation panels, anything with evaluation, anything with students.
Wrap up.
We have spent our lives focused on the success of children, and we will never jeopardize that. Trust us as passionate professionals. Thank you. In terms of the curriculum, to be honest, the social studies department just started it. We've actually now had 2 meetings, one in February and one this month with Mary Clark, who's amazing actually from, I believe, CREC. But it's just the start, and our district is saying it's going to take over 2 years to build a Common Core-based curriculum. And that also includes a shift, because it's, for at least the high school level, it's a matter of where U.S. history is going to be taught, where civics is going to be taught. And to be honest, it ties into a lot what we're doing now, but it's still a shift. The issue is coming a lot, especially in social studies, in the younger grade levels. To answer your question, the curriculum is not built yet. And we're going to have 2 more meetings, which takes out 18 teachers for 4 days to build the social studies curriculum just for this year. The plan is to have this for 2 years, and that's just for this one topic. Now imagine math is doing the same thing, English is doing the same thing, science is doing the same thing, but then again, we're not talking about art and Spanish and other very key classes for our kids to be taking. So Common Core coming into my life, I would say officially started happening this year, and if you saw me over there, I was actually grading assignments that I've actually myself, with no training, have put into the Common Core rubric. In terms of last year versus this year, I have lost time to be able to teach the history. Because, again, we're being pulled from so many different directions, and I have to create these new type of assessments that is either Common Core based and or Common Core based tied to the future SBAC testing. So, for example, when I took the practice argumentative ELA, but argumentative is usually taken over by the social studies department in terms of writing skills. It's persuasive writing. It's what I'm doing right now, convincing you what you need to do. I had to change it because the students never before had a box that said, here's a claim. So the claim is, we should not have dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki because it was too devastating to the civilians. Now read this source and find at least 3 cited pieces of evidence that support that claim. Now my students have been working with evidence and finding it and citing it. That hasn't changed. My students know how to do what we called shred before, which is now counterclaim. The language has changed, but I have had to take away time from my curriculum, the history that I used to teach, and now add a whole bunch of new tasks that no one's taught me how to do. I'm doing it based off of my knowledge, my research, and my time with the practice test. I don't oppose rigorous standards. Right. I see a little bit more of a problem when we're talking about younger levels, but for the high school level right now, again, history is tied to ELA. And I have been working on in all my department, I have a wonderful school, and I think a lot of history teachers are doing the same thing, on strong, persuasive writing skills. But everything at once and not being directed, especially on the fact that we have this SBAC. My kids are taking it Tuesday, Thursday for the next 2 weeks. And they've done a practice one Tuesday, Thursday a week ago. So my juniors are being pulled out.
I bet, like my wife, you're very worried about the AP exam and losing all those days before the exam.
Side note, this is not related. We've actually, because CAPT used to be when I did a practice AP exam, we don't have CAPT anymore except for the science one. We don't know when we're giving that practice either. And my kids are mostly juniors. So now they're missing 4 classes, and the AP exams are coming up.